Hey, so in this video, I'm going to teach you about the filter method in Python, the filter function in Python. Filter is an inbuilt function in Python. You can get to know about it on the Python's official documentation. If you search filter, it must be here somewhere. Yep, it is filter here. So, what does it say about the definition of filter? Let's first see the simpler definition. The filter method filters the given sequence with the help of a function that tests each element in that sequence to be true or not. So the syntax of filter function is filter, and the first argument is the function itself, which we are passing to check the given sequence, the item of the given sequence. And the second is the sequence. The sequence is an iterable. The function is of a type which returns a Boolean expression, either true or false. For example, the function that checks whether a number is odd or even, which divides that number by 2, which use the modulo operator, and um, like n modulo 2 equal to 0, it gives either true or false, whether that number passed in that function is true or false. So let's just, that's the simple definition of function. And for the complete definition of function, you can refer to the Python documentation. It says filter with the signature function iterable as a second argument. Construct an iterator from those elements of an iterable. The iterable is the second argument passed, for which the function returns true. Only it creates a new iterator. It creates a new iterator, like which can be converted to a list or a tuple. It creates a new iterator for which function returns true. For each element of this iterable, where the function returns true, it captures only those particular items and create a new iterator. The iterable may be either a sequence, a container which supports iterator, or an iterator. The iterable may be either a sequence, a container which support iteration, or an iterator itself. Yep, yeah, that's pretty much clear. If function is none, if the function is none, or yep, the function passed is a none, the identification function is assumed. That is, all the elements of the iterable are false are removed. All the iterable items in this iterable which are false, they are removed. Note that filter is equivalent to the generator expression, item for item in iterable. Yep, that's a I mean, this generator expression, it is equivalent to that. If a function is not a none, then yes. Okay, that's pretty much clear. That's a complete definition. Let's open my idle and let me show you. Um, Let me open that previous file which we have worked on. It is inside my temp and map lesson. And this was for the map lesson. Actually, I'll do one thing. I'll close this one and I'll create a new file. Why should I do the same thing which I did in? Why should I use the earlier file? Yep, I'll save it as in the same directory, and I'll name it. What should I name it? Yep, filter lesson. Dot lesson dot oops py. Yeah, so you do not need to import any module for filter. You just need to create your Python file, and this time I'm gonna be a little more professional. I'm gonna create a main block if name equal to main, because this is how you do in the professional scenarios, right? So if name equal to main, then I'll create my list. I'll call it list1. Yep, and here I'm gonna pass some numbers which will contain a list of odd and even numbers. Yep, 65. Now I want to create a new list I want to pick all the items here, all the numbers which are odd. So I can do it by a simple for loop, right? For I in list 1, and I'll create another list called list odd. Yep, and I'll do this check. If I modulo 2 equals 0, then if I equal modulo 2 does not equal 0, right? Then list odd dot append I. Yes, and uh, for testing it, I'm gonna print it list odd. And I'll do one thing, I'll print both of these lists so that we can do the comparison, right? Okay, everything looks good. Now just go to run module. Yes. Okay, so the first list, original list is 12, 23, 43, 90, and 65. And the odd numbers here are 23, 43, and 65. And here is our new list, and it is correct, right? So the other simpler method of doing this is by doing a list comprehension, right? We can directly write here like I for I in list 1 if I divided by I modulo 2 is not equals 0, and it should give the same result. Let's see. Yes, it is the same. Now the another method of doing this is using the filter function, as we have discussed. So I'm going to write filter. The first argument is the function. Here in this case we are going to use the lambda function. If you do not know about lambda function, you can watch my previous video. I have made a video regarding the lambda function, and in the previous video of this series, which is the map function, there I have discussed what a lambda function is. So lambda, the first argument n, and if it will return true if n modulo 2 does not equal 0. In this scenario it will return true. Let's just do one thing. Let's check this lambda function. I'll call this function f, right? Okay, so here f, I'm gonna pass 1, true. Okay, now I'm gonna pass 10, it should return false. Yep, so this function is working as expected. So our first argument is done, which is the function itself. Now the second argument is the list, and we are going to save the output in another variable called filter odd. Now I wanted to print filter odd here and run. Yes, so first printed object is list 1, which is printed successfully. Now the filter here, it did not print the list. If you were expecting a list, it printed the printed something like filter object at this memory location. So because this is just an object, now to use it we either have to use a for loop or a while loop, or we can convert it to a list or any iterable like a tuple as well. Okay, now let's run this, and our output is as expected. So here I conclude this video with this explanation of filter function, and if you have any doubts you can post them in the comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video. Good day.